Hi everyone! It's been a while since I've posted a video. I don't know how YouTubers that do it when they post regularly. I feel like I need to have perfection or, something close to perfection before I do it, write out a script or bullet points or something. And then it just seems like too much work and I never get around to it. So I'm just gonna wing it. And if you want to speed it up so you don't have to listen to me during the unnecessary parts or the stalled parts, be my guest. I have some good news. I had a scan done recently, a PET scan, and this was about 4 months after I started, 4 months after my last scan and after I started Zoladex, which is an estrogen suppressor. It essentially shuts down your ovaries and puts you into medically induced menopause. It was something I stalled on doing for a while because estrogen is a necessary neurotransmitter for essentially every organ in your body, from your skin to your brain, bones, the whole thing. So I didn't want to do it, and I was trying everything else, alternative and off-label medications to block pathways, and things were still growing. So I started trying tamoxifen, which it doesn't shut off your ovaries, but it stops your cells from receiving the estrogen. I did that for a while, and then I ended up with uterine and ovarian tumors. So I stopped that, and I tried Zoladex instead. And that plus the other things I was doing, which, by the way, look into high-dose vitamin C plus doxycycline plus azithromycin. I think it's helpful for a variety of cancers, but specifically for breast cancer, it kills 90+% of breast cancer stem cells, which is something that conventional drugs are not touching at this time. So I did that. It's just, the study just came out in 2019, and they didn't have a like a protocol, like take this dose for this long. So I kind of just made it up on my own. I know that could be dangerous, but I have nobody else to guide me. So, you got to do what you got to do. So I did, I don't know, maybe 6 high-dose vitamin C's, 50 grams, but they were making me feel pretty sick, so I dropped down to 25 grams for the last 2. Hopefully that's enough for my frame. I'm 5'6", and I'm like 110 pounds, so hopefully it's enough to turn into an oxidant, into hydrogen peroxide, which is what you need it to do for it to be effective. Excuse me. So, I did that, and I took the doxy and the azithromycin with it, and it was kind of rough because it made me nauseous, and so you have to eat beforehand, and then you have to stop some of your other medications too, and anyway, so I did that 6 times a couple months ago, and so that plus the Zoladex to shut off my ovaries plus some other stuff I was doing seemed to have a really good impact. I switched oncologists because my old one was just not, she was getting upset at the idea of me bringing up to her other protocols, and wasn't willing to prescribe me any of the off-label drugs, and was telling me that I was wasting my money and that there's no evidence and that it was dangerous, and those are, I mean, she's not lying, but also I know what to expect from the treatment she's offering, which is eventual death. She gave me like 12 months. So I switched to a new one who is more open-minded, and he knows everything I'm taking. And he was even willing to prescribe me 1 pack of azithromycin. You know, so he's not like gung-ho, but at least he's more receptive than the last oncologist. So anyway, I want to show you a picture. Let's see how clearly this shows up. Okay. Okay. Without the glare from the window. Oh, it's the glare from that window. Okay. So you can view this better on my Instagram account if you want to follow me there. And I think it's ANA as in Anna .Maria .F as in Frank and L as in Lucky. Okay, so this is July 2020, and I boxed the areas with tumors. Some of them are really light, you can't really see them, but there's like 2 in this area right here. There's 1 really dark one, and then a bunch of little ones under here. Then there's a bunch here, and then there's 1 over here. So I had tumors on my skin, in my bone, liver, uterus, ovaries, lymph nodes. And then this is December. This is I just got this scan back about a week or 2 ago, and it is completely clean. There is no abnormal metabolic activity. Now, if you notice right here, there's a little spot, and he said that is where my bone that was previously affected is now recalcifying and growing back. So, woohoo! That's pretty amazing. Of course, he says that this treatment usually only works for a little over a year before the cancer cells grow resistant. But I'm doing a bunch of other stuff too, and so I'm really hopeful, and I'm as connected as I can be with other cancer thrivers and people who have long outlived their stage 4 prognosis. And I continue to read, and I joined Jane McLelland's course. She wrote the book How to Starve Cancer Without Starving Yourself, which is all about using off-label drugs to block the different pathways that cancer cells use to feed. And so she beat 2 terminal cancers. She was given 6 weeks to live once, 12 weeks to live once, and then I think it's like 14 years later, she's still around. So I bought her book, read it 2 or 3 times, and now I'm part of her course. And then I do my own research occasionally, although I've really stopped letting it consume my life because it was for a while. And what else? I've kind of fallen off the diet horse. My goal is to eat a lot of raw, organic, vegan, whole foods, and to cut out carbs and sugar. So that is really challenging. Carbs is the hardest one for me. So anyway, yeah, that's my update. Please leave me questions below and I'll answer them if I can. Please follow me on social media because I am more active there, so you can keep up with what is going on. And if you have any questions about things that I'm taking, or you want to share what you're taking or how you're doing, I would love to see it. Thanks so much, guys.